What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. This is Philly Sports Unfiltered. Talking Phils tonight. Come join us. Let's go. Yo, welcome in everybody to another edition Philly Sports Unfiltered here on HUD Radio. That's Tony Cutillo. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, fire us up, get involved tonight, commenting in, and we got a lot to go over. Philly radio war in Philly. Is it fabricated? We'll discuss it. Cam Newton, he feels disrespected. Cam feels disrespected. We'll talk about Cam later on. We'll talk about Cameron later on in the show. Phillies. Peak, or we just plateaued at this point? We're going to dissect it all. Ties right into our poll question. Chime on in. Phillies core has already peaked. Agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everybody get your podcast. We're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow. Most importantly, join the conversation tonight. Tone, lead us off. I mean, I would say give us a Trey Turner lead off.
I don't know if I can hit. No. I don't know, man. If he's already peaked, I think maybe I could. But listen, I felt like it's a good change up tonight, right? So we had all the Phillies or all the Eagles talk all week, and we could probably sit for hours of the nauseating takes and ridiculous talk about that. But let's dive into something a little different, and that's our buddies that ring the bell over there at Scissors Bank Park. And you see Kyle Schwarber gets the big deal. You see. Obviously, the extension for Rob Thompson. My whole thing was this topic came to me because I was specifically asked on my show about, why are you so kind of meh with the Kyle Schwarber signing? And listen, I bring this up because I was kind of like, okay, I wasn't like, yes. Back it up, baby. Let's go. Let's party down Broad Street. I was like, okay. Why? Because my issue is that I feel that this entire core has already hit their peak. When you go to multiple games, multiple playoff games, multiple series, you win multiple pennants. Eventually, if you don't win, you have to start looking at those individual years and say, okay, can they go higher? Can they be more? And I'm telling you, Tom, I look, and last year might have been the best year we're ever going to see in a Philly uniform with Trey Turner. I don't feel like Kyle Schwarber's got another level to go up to. We've already seen a little bit of regression from Bryce Harper, who, by the way, I'm so tired of seeing him on TikTok. We'll get into that for another day. And then Zach Wheeler, who I absolutely love. Can Zach Wheeler pitch any better than he had before the thoracic syndrome? So I look at this team and go, bro, this team's already peaked. Like, it's already peaked. So you're bringing back Schwarber, a 33-year-old DH, $150 million, and a guy who's averaged 47 home runs every year for the 4 years he was here. He's not getting better. So I look at this and go, as much as I like that we're going to have a chance again, as much as I like that we're going to compete, I have to ask myself, is there any feeling in my mind that says, man, we got another level to go to? No, there's not. So I ask the audience, then what's different? What am I getting excited about?
Yeah. I think there's a couple ways to break this down. In terms of them peaking as a core. Yeah, I mean, I believe that's where they're at. Now, can they replicate seasons this year? Sure. I'm sure Trey could come back and have another really good year. I'm sure Kyle can come back and have a really good year. Has Bryce plateaued? It looks like it. Doesn't mean he can't come out and have a great year, right? We'd love to see it. But I think this all surrounds what's next. Right, I didn't sprint the Broad Street because Kyle's back. That had to happen. You understand? That had to happen. Right? You didn't have a choice. Right? So we'll just leave that there. But it's what happens elsewhere now with the rest of this roster. We'll decide our excitement. We'll decide that if this core really has peaked. Because if you put pieces around it, that we've already talked about on different shows, and Marte, Bregman, and you just go out and spend the money, maybe we feel more excited, right? So I just think it depends how the roster ends up being finalized on how we feel. Now, in terms of this core leveling out and being what they are, I agree to that. But I think that they could go to another level, a tick up, if they're surrounded with more. It's weird, right? Like, if you go get me more, then sure, guys could look like they have great years because there's other things having really good years around them too. So to me, baseball is that kind of sport. Like, yeah, those guys in their careers, they are what they are, okay? But it doesn't mean that if you surround them with a couple other really good players, right, all-stars in this league, that you can't go to another level as a group, right? That's my point.
But where's the money coming from?
What does that mean? What do you mean, where's the money come from? There ain't no money.
So when you break it all down and you look at
market,
what's that?
You're top 5 market. What do you mean?
Doesn't matter.
It absolutely matters because there's no salary cap.
Hold on, because you have a luxury tax threshold that you have an owner that is willing to go up against. And right now, as it sits, you got about $12 to $15 million to spend. That's not getting you who Tom Arnone wants, who you're just saying. It's not getting you that. So my thing is, if we're paying all these big contracts, how are we going to get better and get different? How? Who's the magic wand that's coming in that's going to change this roster around? There's no money left to go and get these big time guys. So are you telling me that you're going to be able to get that creative in a trade market to bring a difference maker from the right hand side of the plate? I don't think so. And don't really tell me that Alec Bohm and Nick Castellanos and Matt Strom being gone and traded, released, freeing up is gonna make a difference. I don't see it. I'm not trying to be negative. I don't.
Listen, the way you see it is he goes over the threshold. I mean, it's as simple as that. He can say whatever he wants to say. I'm not talking for him. I'm talking for me. That would excite me. What would excite Tom Arnone and the fan base? He's the idiot who sat and talked about stupid money, right? And he never fully went in. He went halfway in. There's halfway in moves here. No. Fully in is what the Dodgers do. That's fully invested in on what they go and do. When you talk about Freeman, Betts, Ohtani, come on. I mean, the list goes on guys they're paying. Teoscar Hernandez they're paying.
They just paid Edwin Diaz.
Like, they don't care. They're going to go out and spend it. They're going to backload money. They're going to get creative with it. So, yes, they are a right-handed power bat away. They are a Ketel Marte away.
You think they get that done?
I would get it done yesterday.
That would make me excited.
That's my point.
You bring Ketel Marte in, yes. I'm excited.
Yes, and then where I went in my head, okay, is let's get creative with Alec Bregman then. Now, I don't love him, but I need something different at third base, right? Because we're not going to run Alec Bohm back. We don't want the same. Fine. Okay. I think Alec Bohm's a good player, but that's no big deal. We'll move on from that and then go get me a guy who's won before too. So now I get some more pieces who have won here. I got a bullpen that I think's good enough to flat out compete, right? So now I get more excited a little bit because now I got 2 right-handed bats in my lineup that I didn't have that can actually swing it and lose some baseballs. Is Alec Bregman the same player he was 5 years ago? Absolutely not. But everybody wants to change. So if you want to change, you got to go upgrade what you had. You have to. You can't give me a Mundo Sosa for 162. That has to be a damn good player at third base that can.
Yeah, well, Dalton, doesn't it scare you though? With who they're labeling as a championship chip? Who? Have you heard this yet?
Maybe who?
Otto Kemp.
That's. I mean,
but Tom, I'm dead. Listen, and listen. Let me first preface this by saying I have nothing but respect for Otto Kemp for playing on a broken freaking kneecap for the entire. Like, I don't know how that dude's threshold for pain is got to be massive. However, I heard them. It's all documented. This is 2 times now. They brought him up to winter meetings. Tom, bro, they look at Otto Kemp as a championship chip, a championship caliber player. Bro, I'm telling you right now, you're not getting Bregman, not getting any, you're getting Otto Kemp. And they're going to try to sell you. And this is why I'm saying, this is why I get what you're saying. But this is why I'm not excited, because that's what we're probably going to get.
Well, it depends what you get in the outfield. Obviously, you're going to get Justin Crawford, so that's different.
I like Justin Crawford.
Okay, so that gives you something different. And then it depends what those other two spots become. Right? It depends.
It just comes down to they got to get Marte.
That's the whole thing.
I mean, they have to get Marte.
You should have traded Painter yesterday.
Why are they waiting? What were they waiting? Come on, man.
No, because that gets you excited. That's my point.
Yeah.
And that guy is available. So the fact that he's available, you got to go get him. Like, you have to compete in the NL that is controlled and ran by the LA Dodgers right now. So how do you slay them? Well, you slay them by going and getting guys who can play at a high level right now, because you have guys who can play at a high level. So if you go get more, like if you get a guy like him and whoever, but you need more outfielders too, right? Because right now you have Brandon Marsh and Justin Crawford, and they're both lefties. So you need two righties in the outfield. And you're a starter. You're another starter away. Like, if you want to start Marsh and you want to start Crawford, and then you get another guy, fine. But you're still, like, if it's a Bader, I don't, is it the guy from Colorado people have talked about? I think he stinks out loud.
See, that's what scares me. They're bringing up it scares me because they're already bargain shopping, right? They're like you just said. You made a great point about, look, Middleton came out, and you may have spent stupid money on Bryce Harper. That may have been stupid money back then. It is no longer. It's the commonplace now. You just had the Pirates offer $150 for Schwarber. Okay, let's be honest. So you're not really playing with stupid money anymore, and now we're already talking about bargain bin shopping.
It's okay to bargain. It's okay to bargain bin in that spot if you're going to get a Ketel Marte. Right, it's okay to say, okay, I got a bargain shop for a center fielder because I'm going to get an all-star at second base. Fine, but I can't bargain shop at third then. Now, could I go to Mundo Sosa, Otto Kemp run there? I might be okay with that, because I'm good with Sosa playing 81 games, because they'll bring you a lot in that sample size, right? If you overplay him, I think is where he gets beat sometimes, but he's really good defensively. Kemp's hit everywhere he's been. And what I mean by that, the way he's gotten to where he's got is because how damn good of a hitter he is. So we're talking about college, minors, everywhere he's been, he's hit. So, right? So that's the reason. He started out like a JUCO route. Like, I'm telling you, like this guy worked his way here. Sometimes I like the guy who had to swim off the island. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes I like the guy. Now, am I selling you on it? No, that's not what I'm trying to do. But sometimes that the not top 10 prospect becomes a damn good player for you. Sometimes. So we'll see. It's not fair to judge him off the kneecap, obviously. I didn't even know about that. And I know everything.
You didn't hear about that?
Can't believe it. Well, I don't pay attention to them when it's over until this time. Until like winter meetings. I don't listen to anything they say. Like I could care less what you tell me in a press conference. I just means nothing to me.
It's like a Nick Sirianni press conference, bro. Like, I'm out. Like I want no, but I want to get
not fair to us. It's not fair what they did.
No, it's not.
It's not fair that you say stupid money and I watch other teams outspend you when you have the same amount of resources. That's what's bullshit. Okay, you're a top 5 market in this league, and walk and talk like it. Talk like it,
and selling out Citizens Bank Park in May.
Not much
in
longer.
May on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, and you ain't gonna sell it out. That's constructed right now. I'll tell you that right now.
No, you're not. And what you said, I want to bring it back because you're spot on. What you say about Otto Kemp, meaning, listen, you like the guy, the grinder that's worked his ass off, that's got a pet, right? You like that. But the thing is, I'm okay if you tell me you want to go Otto Kemp and Edmundo Sosa. That's fine. However, that all hinders you're getting Ketel Marte.
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing. Don't sell me on Sosa Kemp, and I'm still looking at
Bryson Stott. Yeah.
No, I can't do it.
And I like Bryson.
That's nothing to me.
I like Bryson, but why don't we get really creative here? Because if you really want to get creative, this is what I do. It's not hard to do because I got an entire spring training to make it work. Are we going to put egos aside? Or what matters most to guys? Walking down Broad or the ego? So what I would go do is I would go get Ketel Marte. Bryson Stott's not in that deal. Okay. Alec Bohm's in that deal. All right. Bryson Stott is not in that deal because they probably want somebody who can play right now, I'm sure. So fine. Maybe he's not, whatever. But what I do is I go Marte at second. I go Bryson Stott at short. And I move Trey Turner to third base.
Wow.
Bryson Stott's a Gold Glover. He'll be a Gold Glover at short too.
I listen. I'm with you. I like it. I do.
You want to do something
like
different?
I put egos aside.
Yeah, you want to do something different, guys?
Trey Turner ego.
Well, what's the definition of insanity, Tone?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, do something different.
Yeah.
Like Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter did it.
That's a good point.
And pre-Roy, no disrespect, Trey. No disrespect to you, baby. You're a hell of a player. You ain't Alex Rodriguez.
No. You're not pre-roid or post-roid or active roid. You're neither, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Javon, here's a good point. Javon had brought this up last night on the show. Shout out Javon, always a great supporter and listener. Which they've made that trade for Harry Ford, another young. There's a catcher that we could have used that they gave up a reliever for. So, again, somebody's already getting creative. That could have been creative for us because guess what? The only reason why we're bringing JT back, and I love JT, okay? I get it. It's the Yadier Molina effect for me, for JT. However, they're kind of hamstrung, bro. They got nobody. Like, nobody. So they have to bring JT back. So
I'm fine with that because he's so great with the pitchers.
I am too. But what I'm saying is that they are so short-sighted of little trades like this for a guy that can play right now in Harry Ford that they have put themselves into a corner with whether we like the move or not, we're going to have to get them anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to give, obviously, Marchand the opportunity to be his backup again. But you guys are totally right with that.
I will say this.
But they need more outfielders.
To me, this is the Kyle Schwarber thing. And with the deal and with the way everything's constructed, I'm gonna go to the end with this. It's a 2-year deal. Meaning they got 2 years, babe. That's it. You got 2 years. After 2 years, this ship has sunk.
With him,
completely.
I think I agree. The Schwarber, you probably have a little bit more.
No. What I mean is, I'm not saying Kyle Schwarber specifically. What I'm saying is
talking about the team,
the whole team, but just based on that 5-year contract. Like if you're talking about the core, it's like, bro, I think we got 2 years tops to get this done.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think I said it with you, or I said it on another show, so we're right on with that. Not shocking.
Okay.
Not shocking at all. With the core, you have the 2 years.
Yeah.
Like even with a Marte, you got 2 years.
Yeah.
Now,
because they're all in that 30.
I don't care what you do. Like you can bring up the only way you get out of the 2 years, Tone, is if like Miller, Crawford, and Payne are all up somehow. Like next year, then okay, you could maybe make the case that all right, you may have a little longer of a window, but how much longer? 3?
I know.
3 years? Like because again, these are prospects. I would trade all 3 of them yesterday.
I'm with you. I always trade the prospects, bro. Like I want the prime A talent that I know can produce right now. No questions asked. That like if you're giving me a guy that right now I'm in, like trade him. Like I'm good. Trade him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm in. I'm absolutely in, man.
Dave says he agrees to it too. I mean, the core is definitely peaked. Does that mean Kyle Schwarber can't have a better year? No. Does that mean Bryce Harper can't have a better year? No.
You really think Schwarber can have a better year, bro?
If Bryce Harper has a better year, absolutely. Because I'm talking about maybe not home run wise, but like even better on base percentage, like different things like that. Because if the protection's around it all, then yeah, this lineup could be like if you had a Marte in it, that protection is absurd, right? So yes, he could essentially have a monster year again, but again, that would take Bryce Harper to have a better year Is that doable to have a better year? Yes. I think
No,
he
for
could have
Bryce Harper.
yes, doable.
Then last year, yes.
Could Trey Turner duplicate it? Yeah, he's still young enough in prime wise to duplicate that again. Right? Okay.
But we're not seeing San Diego Padres series Bryce Harper ever again.
Ever again.
I'm out on that.
Now, could you see agree and disagree to that to a point, right?
Okay.
Like, could you see a big game and a big moment from him again? Absolutely, right?
Right, but he's not carrying
a series. Yep. We're spot on.
All right, so we're okay.
Can he win you a game? Yeah, I'm not gonna say he can't win you a game still, right?
I'm with you there.
But does he have the ability right now to win you a series? I don't think so.
I agree.
Not from what my eyes have told me, and sort of what the body's been through too, right? If you really factor in the wear and tear to Joe Burrow, do I still love it?
Joe B.
You still love it. Like, come on, dude. It's a kid's game. I know
here's the name. Javon says, I like Joe Adell in right field for Angels power, right? There's a switch up, right? Joe Adell's a nice player. Taylor Ward. And he's got you got a couple guys out out there, that could be. Nick said, what's Nick saying here?
No, he's spot on.
Prospects, post Howard, Rutley, never pick. Yep. 100%, which is why we say, Tom, listen, I mean, it's the Sixto Sanchez effect.
I'll trade 10 of them right now. You want top 10 prospects?
Oh, wait. Taylor. That's right. He would trade the deadline. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. How about the Orioles, too, going balls out for
the weirdo
polar bear?
Yeah, weirdo. You know what I mean?
5-for-1. He gets more than Schwarber?
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
what the hell is going on?
He can't. Well, maybe because he plays a position, but he doesn't because he stinks at it. Right. So maybe he's like, oh, he's a position player. So he gets a little bit more than a DH does. I could see that being the only reason why.
For me, he's like my all-time love to hate athlete. And the only reason why I say that is because he does I buried a guy. I can't stand him. Like when I saw him, was it 2 years ago in the home run derby when he was doing all these warm-ups and stuff, I was like, bro, get a life. Seriously, literally get a life. But then when I heard in the back, some of the stuff that he does, community wise, it's oh, this dude's actually not a bad dude. So now I don't want to hate him. You know what I mean? But when I see him out there, I'm like, dude, I can't stand this guy.
Weirdo. He's a weirdo. Yeah. He's not my cup of tea. Doesn't mean he's not a nice guy, right? There's levels to it, right? I'm not gonna sip on the tea with you. But Nick's spot on, and this has been the problem around baseball is you hold on to them. You hold on, and the reason you have top prospects, in my opinion, unless you're the Tampa Bay Rays, is the deal. Right?
Yeah.
Unless you're a small market team, the reason for your top prospects in a top 5 organization, top 5 market, is to wheel and deal those guys for proven guys when you're in your timeline to win. That's the difference. When you're in your timeline to win, I'm dealing everybody.
I'm with you.
I'm cleaning house. You're not going to be able to fill a AAA team. We'll figure it out. You know what I mean? We'll figure it out.
Listen, let's think about just, not to bring them up, but if we would have traded Ben Simmons or we would have traded Joel Embiid, we were not talking about the situation we're in right now. Just throwing it out there. Again, so what's Greggy saying here? Disagree the poll, but this is the final year. So I just want to let everybody know, because you brought up a good point, and I want Greg to hear this, that the way I went about this poll was saying that I don't think that any of these players will ever have a better year again than their top year, not last year, their top year. So when Schwarber, his top home run year, I don't think we'll ever see another year. Trey Turner's year last year, I'd never see a better year than what you had. Bryce Harper, we'll never see a better year. Like Tom said, now can he? Yes, but I'm saying a full year at their top. We're never seeing it again.
Can he go hit 30 and about 275? Sure.
Yeah.
Driving 100? I expect it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to write that in my notepad. Expect that to happen. Hey, I said something funny on Philly Sports Unfiltered the other night. I said, hey, Brett's come back 275 and hit 30 homers. Come on.
I just did that 6-7 dumb shit without even knowing.
I didn't even see you do it.
Yeah, I wasn't meaning it for that, but somebody will
Greg, I yelled at Greg last night. I'm going to yell at him again. And I'll tell you why I yelled at him last night.
Poor Greg's always getting yelled at.
And I love Greg. He's when you're in family, you yell at each other on sports.
I hear you,
when
bro.
Talk sports. That's how this has worked for years. That's why me and you will yell and scream. But he was trying to tell me the number 2 options in the NFL don't run routes. They always take plays off. I said, that's the biggest crock of shit, because he was trying to defend AJ about it. Because I said, I think he takes too many plays off. And
I agree.
Said, I think number 2 guys do that all the time. Like if you're number 2 in the route, I said, you're making that up. If you're number 4 in the route, okay. If every number 2 guy in a route is taking plays off, nobody's ever scored. All right. So
maybe Jahan Dotson's taking a couple plays off.
Here we go.
Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, Devontae and AJ in a lap.
Wow.
All right, we'll talk about that later. But now, right now, because he has the Bryce poster above his bed.
Does he? He's a Bryce boy?
And he probably got a bobblehead right on the dresser.
Oh,
no. He's probably got his couple socks laying around.
Yo, did I ever see Greg do a show with the Fanatic bandana too? Like, I'm sorry, Greg. I'm
not taking cheap shots because it's easy, Greg. I'm taking cheap shots because I think he's a punk right now.
I think he's an absolute punk. And guess what? He is the most selfish player on that team. And I, I'm going to go one more further before we go into Philly Radio Wars. I'm going to say this again. I applaud, as a PR guy, I applaud the public relations department for the Philadelphia Eagles. I do. Because I'll tell you what, answer me this, Greg. If Jamar Chase is sitting on the sideline reading a friggin' book, what's happening? If Justin Jefferson is reading a book, what's happening, bro? Seriously. But because we're in Philadelphia and we all love our athletes so much. Oh, AJ. Hi, AJ. Look at me. He likes me. He liked my tweet. He loves me. We're okay. We're okay, right? Oh, get out of here. I'm so tired of everybody sticking up for the goddamn athletes in this town like they even give a shit about us. I'm so tired of it.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
First off, with the AJ thing, I love it. I love AJ. I never wanted to deal.
Yeah, me too.
I never brought that stuff up. But when you demand something, baby, I'm going to tell you how pro sports work. When you demand the football, you better finish it. That's all. So I'm allowed the Monday morning quarterback that or Tuesday morning quarterback that performance all day. All day. When I watch Ricky Wooders, little Ricky Wooders happen, Greg, I'm allowed to have a little bit of bad taste in my mouth. When I'm watching everything about the quarterback and nothing about anything else, I'm allowed to be like, oh, there's other things that happen, guys. Other guys didn't show up. I'm allowed to talk about other things than what the dial radio and everybody else wants to talk about. And now all these idiots that do podcasts, now they were all clamoring to be on the dial. They would have shot a family member to get on the dial. Okay, I'll be clear. Okay, they would have did a lot of things to get on the dial. And now these guys are all, I don't even call them out. I'll call them out by person, right? Little podcast, like all these radio stations have agendas. Oh, man, where you been? A2D was started 13 years ago because of that. I actually did a show on A2D so you could get away from the agenda. But like all these guys, I'm not talking about one thing in specific anymore. Now all you guys just have so many hot dogs flying in your face, you don't know what to do with yourself. And now, look at the dial. Because of crushing my guy. They got an agenda. Yeah, they do. They do have an agenda. Their agenda is to run people out of town. Their agenda is they love chaos. They love this. They love this. Somebody asked me tonight, this got to be crazy time of year. I said, listen, I've been through everything from doing A2D through the years. Every up and down of you talk about the Eagles, Phillies, etc. Okay? Been through it all. Right? We view better when they don't play well. And why is that? Well, why is that? Because there's been a culture created of fire this guy. He's not good enough. And I can assume all this stuff on my couch.
Yep.
And that's what we created. So
I
go ahead,
agree.
Tony, about the, we'll get into
No,
the wars
listen,
now.
man. And we apologize for some of the comments we get to yet, but we get off the rails a little bit, man. We get off the rails now. Right. I don't think that's you, but know what we need when we go off the rails like this, when we talk about the hot dog fest, is we need a picture of the Eagles tunnel, like after a game, like right before like guys are taking like press post, and you see all the some of the beat like running and scurrying down. I'm just like, bro, no disrespect, but if I'm ever somebody come hit me right off the side of the head, bro.
Oh,
Seriously,
please, trip me, just trip me on the spot. These guys
I got
all want
no time for that, dog.
everybody just wants to be liked down there. Like everybody wants to be the cool guy. Like I can't. Part of me can't stand this fan base the way we become.
Everybody wants to be Dave Spadaro.
Yeah, everybody wants. Yeah, but everybody's got an insider. Everybody wants to party it up before the game. It's cool, and we've lost the fact of like caring about our team. Like we are, and again, this doesn't last forever. But you're literally off a Super Bowl win, and you literally cut the throat of Goliath. Like you literally cut Goliath's throat. They're not the same team after
Look at them right now.
Yeah, they're not the same team after that. Like that's what you went and did, and you've been in 2 Super Bowls in going on 4 years, right? We'll see where this year ends up, but 2 out of 3 years, and we're talking about benching quarterbacks, which let me tell you how smart of an idea that is. Okay,
let's have it because we're just gonna.
We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there.
Let's just go into Philly radio wars real fast,
please.
Or wait, or we want to talk about Cam. Poor Cam. Do we give Cam any play?
Do we even give Cam play?
Cam feels disrespected. Maybe you know what? Maybe all the hot dog eaters out there could send him a postcard, right? Yeah. Send him a Christmas card because Cam's feeling upset. They didn't look at him over Old Man Rivers. Like he stays in shape. He's ready to go. I will say this about Cam. I was a big Cam guy when he played. I did. I liked his. It sounds crazy, but I did like his attitude. I like his cockiness. I like guys like that, right? But man, you talk about a guy who's really fabricated a whole persona on TV. Like I'm so over it. I don't know if you've ever watched him open up that 4th and 1 show. Hey, bro, what are you doing here? What are we like? Am I in Broadway somewhere? Like I'm out. I'm out on Cam.
Tough to watch. 100%. Big fan of him at Auburn. All that stuff. But like I say it all the time, like I don't know how great you are as a quarterback. So maybe you don't talk about other ones.
Right. Listen, man. I agree. That's enough for Cam.
When you're at the top of your game, you were special for sure because you could run everybody. You could run people over.
Remember that 1 year?
Yeah, you run people over. You make people miss. Your legs were and you had a cannon. You had a rocket.
Ron Rivera rode him to the ground, bro.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he really did. River Ron. But listen, let's get it. Let's ask it because I want to get into this Philly Radio Wars thing a little bit, and I love reading across abroad stuff when they come out with it. And I caught it before. And Tom, I don't know if you caught it, but the question I have for everybody that's in the chat, whether, wherever you're watching, make sure you hit that like, hit subscribe, and hit that notification bell so we can continue to keep this thing going. But I have when in the beginning, when they started, even though we had it first, when Unfiltered started, on 97.5.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed Colorado going after WIP, but he didn't go after a specific host, right? He was just like, listen, at the end of the day, he was like, we're kind of like what we do, right? Like, no, like we're just like, hey, listen, you want to listen to that crap? Go ahead. But if you want to listen to real talk about, and I was like, wow, they're really a little ballsy. They're going station to station. Like, I was like, I kind of dig it, right? But then I saw Johnny Marks, who I love Johnny Marks. I saw Johnny Marks retweet Giglio and like bash him. And I was like, wow. Like now this is getting deep. And I want to give everybody a quick story too of why I want to talk about this. That is getting deep, right? So I even commented, I was like, I love this. Like, I'm in. Like I'm all, but then Tom, I start thinking about it, and I was like, wow, like something tells me because that is like I don't know if you're a wrestling guy. I would need Chrome on here to answer this. And shout out Chrome for his awesome Vince Russo. Are you kidding me? If you guys are not watching the Lazy Booking podcast on HUD, if you're a wrestling fan, I don't know what you're doing, bro. This dude's pulling guests every single friggin' week, right? But the reason why I bring this up is because they talk about something called the forbidden door. And the forbidden door is when you either talk about another company, when you're working for another company, stuff like that. So when that happened, I was like, wow, that's like the forbidden door. But then it started making me think, like, is this fabricated? Is this kind of like this backdoor agreement where, because two things, and I'm sorry to get long-winded, but I want to let everybody understand where I'm going with this. So two things. Number one, they always tell you in that business, don't burn bridges, right? Because they flip from station to station, station to station. So why would a radio host risk burning that bridge by calling that guy out if they didn't understand the semantics of it, right? And the reason why I say that, this happened to me 2 times, okay? One time, true stories. One time, I was working for Fox Sports The Gambler for Sean Brace. And I told you I was a Johnny Marsh fan, so I'm a Johnny Marsh fan. When Johnny Marsh was on WIP, he posted an event for Chicky and Pete's like they always do. They're going to be live. I retweeted the event and said, wow, this is pretty cool. I'm going to try to stop by. My phone rang, and Sean Brace can deny it up and down. I don't really give a shit. That dude ran into my ass up and down about how bad it makes the station look, how you never, ever, ever do that. You know, you have this, you have that. And, you know, I can't believe you would do something with this. I'm like, whoa. Like, where is this coming from, right? I'm like, I have no idea. Now, remember, this is 10 years ago, right? 11 years ago. I'm like, okay, whatever. But the reason why I bring that up is because second time when I was on Sirius, I made a comment about another show host. And it wasn't degrading. It was kind of like questioning his integrity. And the producer emailed me instantly. I was like, Tony, we don't do things like that here. The reason why I bring this shit up is because I'm looking at this going, is this real? So I'm asking you, based on my experiences, and I'm not saying anybody's any of that, but based on my personal experiences, I feel like this is starting to be fabricated. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think the whole way they do things is fabricated.
Well, yeah, their shows are fabricated.
Yeah, I don't think there's a real thing that happens over there. So on either station, and I don't care. I think it's the truth. And when you talk about Joe G, Mike, I mean Joe might be clueless. He might be a lot of those things, but what I'll give Joe credit for is he doesn't run from it. He never has. He never runs from his opinions. Regardless, I had him on here before during the Wentz time, and at the end of the day, he was right about that one. Okay, you know, doesn't mean he's right about this one. Carson definitely did not accomplish the things for this organization that Jalen has. So that's where I think it's fabricated. That's where I think it's the easy target. And in terms of the war being real or fake, I would always lean to it being bullshit. Johnny Mark's good dude, but he doesn't care. So, to make it really wouldn't care. I wouldn't think at this point of his career, but maybe he does. But I absolutely see stations saying, this drives traffic. This drives the, 100%. Our ratings going up, and creates that competition that people love. They love controversy. They love those things. So absolutely, that's like 101 marketing in a way.
Yep.
Too. I believe they pushed that for years because this isn't the first time. With guys. So I've always believed that they push that agenda versus each other. Right. Because they want it. They don't care that you're giving somebody else publicity. They care that, okay, it's going to drive people to listen to what you got to say about it. and how you take his takes and you crush his takes, right? Different things like
I
that.
thought they would do that internally. When they would go like say right here at A2D, if we come on here and we start bashing the lazy booking podcast, right? Like, this, Crone looks, he's an idiot. What's he know? What's he talking about, right? Like, and then he pops on, Mike pops on his, and it's like, Tony's a schmuck. Like, you don't know what the hell he's talking about. Like, the internal vibe I always felt was fabricated, right? It was to boost them up. I'm dumbfounded that we're going to this extreme. And I'm trying to figure out the ulterior motive if it's not. You know what I mean? Like, it's just I don't know.
The interior motive is what we just said.
No, right. But what I'm saying though is if it wasn't, then somebody would have to explain it to me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like I said, I think everything they do is.
I gotta go on mute for 1 second. I'll be right there.
Yeah, you're good. Everything they do is to drive you to listen to slop. That's all you're doing. I mean, you go see pictures of those guys, and you're like, man, I'm gonna take this guy's opinion on sports. I know I know we're on the radio. Makes sense. I know the visual doesn't matter, but now the visual does matter. So you could put a guy, looks like he didn't make his kickball team or his wiffle ball team, Harper, last pick, and you could put him with a former pro and think, okay, we can make up for him. Well, no, this is what you get. You get guys with overreaction opinions. You get guys that really truly don't know, in my opinion, what goes on in locker rooms. They want to think they do. And you don't really get a guy who, and I think part of it is, directors and things like that pushing their hosts to go after those easy targets, go after the coach, go after the quarterback, demand changes, demand this, demand that, and don't let them off the hook type stuff. And I think that's what they want, because that drives the caller and that drives engagement and drives everything else. So, long story short, that's why I don't listen to it. I haven't listened to it in years.
I'm honest. I listen to select few.
No, I go listen to Ike and Johnny before because I thought they had a good show. But
I dig Johnny about the way he's been bringing back and bringing in some of the alums, different I like that. I think that keeps a good vibe. I think it keeps things turning a little bit. And I do feel like it's less of hot takes. I do. I'm not a big fan of the scripted callers and stuff like that, but I do feel like it's been
I just got no time for it. I got no time for any of them. They jump around. What I mean? It's all just I'm good. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need somebody else's opinion affected mine. And I believe that since the day I started this, that I didn't need somebody on the dial affecting what I'm watching with my eyes. I'm not going to allow it to happen because it's easy for me to get caught up in them. And the bigger thing is, by listening to something too much, you start to take on that a little bit. True. And I don't want to take on anybody. This is who I am. So I found myself early days sort of taking on other people, and that's not me. I want to be me and authentic. And
so this is true. So what Ryan is talking about right here, and I want to bring everybody to the insight a little bit, and why I'm going to give you the difference between national radio and local radio in my experience. Okay. John says XM radio for me. Can't stand the morning show. Joe did. John, man. Maybe John, did you ever listen to Fantasy Sports Radio? Did you ever call into my show on Sunday nights, bro? Every 3 years held it down Sunday nights, 9 o'clock, man. But the reason why I want to bring this up, Ryan, is because you're right. So local radio, you have to submit, from what I understand, your agenda. What is your run sheet? What are you going to talk about? But on top of that, you're also given specifics on what you need to touch on. Okay. Now, what I can tell you from my experience on SiriusXM was I was allowed to book my own guests. I was allowed to do my own run sheets. And the only thing that was given to me as a directive for my 2-hour show was, hey, now remember, I hosted on Fantasy Sports Radio on Channel 87, every Sunday night for 3 years. And I got from our producers was like, listen, Sunday night football games on. If you could, let's hit some live lines, around halftime. Okay. That it wasn't, hey, if you touch on Jalen Hurts getting kicked out or no, it was none of that. It was none of that. But from what I understand, and I don't know this to be 100% correct, but it's pretty comes from pretty good credible sources that they have to submit, and they're also given a bunch of things they need to talk about too. Remember, these stations have contracts with specific NFL teams. I say it all the time. Like 97.5 contract with the Sixers, right? So they have to bring Sixers in, right? They bring coaches in, covered. They have to. It's in a contract, right? So there is validity to it for sure. But that's why I'm with you. So you made a good point though. If you listen to something long enough, it can completely jade your persona, and it could start making you think that same damn way.
Yep, and I don't need that because
I'm with you
because I want to take the step back approach.
Yeah,
this. I do enough yelling and screaming as it is, right? I don't need to, if I go on after a game, I'm going to yell and scream, and I'm not going to be happy. But there's not going to be like, hey, let's bench a guy. Not right now. Again, we talk about we're halfway through next year, and hypothetically, this year ends bad, and we're halfway through next year, and he's still struggling, and things are still going that way. Then listen, man, then we can start to have a little bit of a conversation, right? But I just think when you just are Super Bowl MVP, I think in any city you get a little grace for having a bad stretch. Like he's at a bad stretch. He's got 4 games left, the last quarter of the season. But all we do
Super Bowl.
Yeah, all we do is light fires for no reason. All right. And we protest per se in terms of he benching the quarterback, firing offensive coordinators, which I'm not saying I disagree with, but all those things. And that's all we do is just drive that stuff home. And then we talk about AJ. And so we literally dictated by the media and by a fan base. We fed in to AJ. We allowed this to happen.
Yes.
And nobody wants to sit back and say, what just happened? We just went 1-3 in a stretch since we started feeding this guy. And that's not how we're built. There'll never be a time in the history of the Eagles offense with Jalen Hurts under center, which are better under center than they are in the
They definitely are. They definitely are.
shotgun.
Way better.
They'll never be in it where they're better throwing the ball 35, 40 times a game. There will never be a time in Jalen Hurts' career here in Philadelphia that they'll be better suited playing that way. And I can look around the NFL and tell you most teams are not built to have guys throw 35, 40 times a game. All right? There's a couple exceptions to the rules. Matthew Stafford being one of them. Right? There's exceptions to the rules. Right? The best player in the National Football League is Josh Allen. All right? Josh Allen wasn't the same player when he didn't have a run game. He was really good. Now, I'm not comparing the two. Josh Allen's better than Jalen Hurts. Now,
100%.
All right, that isn't up for debate. But what's up for debate is a guy's performance went down when he didn't have that guy. When the running game wasn't working. So, performances go up when other things work well, too. It's not an excuse.
I agree.
You can't not run the football well. And they were. I thought, what I was going to say about Eagles, I thought Monday night, you could somehow erase turnovers, was probably one of their better offensive games, period, which is crazy to even say out loud because they ran it well at times. They threw it well at times besides the turnovers, right? It's a weird thing to say out loud, but overall, we got a better performance and a better fight. It's just when you turn it over 5 times, you ain't winning no games. And the fact that you're in a game where you turn over 5 times against a damn good football team on the other side says a lot about you. So that's where I say 2023 is not a thing here. It's not a thing. They're too talented and too good defensively for that to be a thing. So what is it? Last quarter of the season, let's figure some things out. That's what we should be talking about. Hey, it's not too late. Anybody says it's too late is an idiot. Anybody says it's too late to finally hit in on your identity and figure some things out, you're a moron. At any point in time, we can figure some things out. Are we going to be perfect offensively? That's not what I'm saying. Are we going to be 2024 Eagles? Not what I'm saying. Okay? Offensively. But can we be good?
I agree to disagree.
Can we be good? No great word was used. Can we be good enough?
But
if you're good enough with this defense, you can win playoff games. I'll stand by that shit.
But when you just said though that you can create an identity, I think that's complete bullshit.
No, you can. What I mean by that is they have an identity. That's the funny thing. We're all talking about identities and all this shit. The identity's been goddamn built. The identity's been built that it's 25 or under, he doesn't lose. The identity's been built, but you haven't changed the run game. You haven't changed how you do things. You haven't tried different backs. You haven't tried, you know what? Maybe Landon Dickerson's really hurt. We got to protect the guy from himself, right? Little things like that, like for a week. Like that's my problem with them. The identity's been built by RPO style when you're struggling, up tempo when you're struggling. The identity's been built on what they're really good at. Okay, so you're struggling at it. That doesn't mean you stop doing it. That means you get creative with it. That means you figure out different ways, different cutbacks, different ways in the run game to open up holes. So nobody out there give me that you can't. We're looking for an identity. Holy shit! The identity's been here for 4 years now. The identity is going anywhere. They're losing the identity. I
on what they say, bro.
They don't have a clue either. The identity is they're idiots. They're all idiots. The identity has been built here. I mean, holy shit, Tone. I said after week 4 last year, we'll roll the tape. Give the tape to everybody, please. I said after week 4 last year, what are we doing? We're throwing the ball 30, 35, 40 times a game. We're getting too cute. We are built.
I agree.
We are built with Jalen Hurts will not lose games. Jalen Hurts, I'll stand by it. That Jalen Hurts will not lose games when he's 25 or under. Doesn't mean he can't win them if he's over it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you keep him there and you got to use his goddamn legs too. They have to be part of this offense.
So let me ask you this. Why aren't they? What do you so if you had a lean one way or the other, is it Jalen not wanting to run the ball or them not wanting him to run the ball?
I think this is where there are a lot of factors in this, okay? And there's things that could probably go deeper than me and you could imagine,
right?
Okay? But the way I look at it is as an athlete and a competitor and a guy who wants to prove people wrong, I think part of him wants to stay in the pocket and wants to, go through progressions and wants to get better at it. And I think organizationally, of course, they'd rather a quarterback not run around all the time and get hurt maybe. But at some point when you struggle, show it. That's all I'm asking.
I agree.
Once you show it again, it opens. It opens. You have weeks to get better here. This is what I'm saying. You can get back to your identity. Like, that's what I'm saying. When we sit here and the dial says it, they have no identity. They have no identity. Well, they're not doing their identity well. It doesn't mean they don't have an identity. Like, we're missing the boat here. It's not like it's a brand new team. This team won a Super Bowl by Jalen Hurts throwing 25 or under. Tony, they didn't lose a goddamn game after that, essentially, when he was 25 or under. Besides, I think the Washington game he got hurt in, right? But 25 or under, they did not lose a game the rest of the year. They did not lose a game the rest of the year.
So, I agree with everything, and I don't want to turn this.
How can I sit on my couch? How can I sit on a swivel chair, Tone?
But here's the thing. That's what I'm going to say because it's going to start another conversation. I just can't help it because it's the way I have to answer this. Okay, it's again, who does it all fall on? And the reason
got the ball in our hands, baby.
No, here's the thing: if me and you and Javon and people that sat are talking about the 25, if we're talking about the run game, if we're saying you have an identity, if we're talking where the hell is the RPO, we're talking about all that. We're talking about knowing Lander Dickinson's hurt more than we think. We're talking about Cam Jurgens still hurt more than we think. We're playing with back offensive linemen. We get all that. If we know all that, you have a head coach who's one job as a coach. Tom, you have to answer this because you're a coach. Okay. You know, if you have a pitcher on the mound, let's talk about velo for a minute. You got a pitcher on the mound, and you know when he goes above 90, he's got no control. But when he's 88, 87, pinpoint Greg Mack's accuracy. Would you keep asking him to go 90 or above? Or would you, right? Or are you going to keep him at 87?
Keep him right at 87.
Right. So I will ask everybody again, the people that call me a moron for saying that I'm out on Nick Sirianni. Okay. And I'm going to ask everybody again. What were we told Nick Sirianni's job was? What were we told? We were told that his job is to make sure everything's smooth. Make sure smooth, baby. Smooth. We want no ups and downs, no disagreements. Make sure everything's good. Well, guess what, bro? He sucks because he ain't on. None of that has happened this year, and every single thing that's wrong is on his watch. So if he's a head coach, if he's a CEO coach, I'm gonna last thing I'm gonna say because I'm gonna get all pissed off right now. Okay, if he's a head coach, a CEO coach, and he sees what we're all seeing, all of us, at the end of the day, isn't it his job to be like, no, we're doing this? Ain't that his job? So if he doesn't do that and he allows it to happen, well, guess what? He's PE number one, in my opinion. And that's why I keep saying there's a problem. And last I'm going to say, and I because I want a different audience when I say this. Let's go back to the AJ Brown thing for 1 second. AJ Brown, sorry, Greg. AJ Brown was a friggin' problem last year. AJ Brown's a problem this year. Now, if we know he's a problem, and you know players know he's a problem, and you're a coach, a CEO coach, and you allow that problem to continue to happen, what happens to the rest of your team? Now they have resentment towards you as a coach because they're going, you let this guy do whatever he wants, right? I mean, Tom, we're not talking rocket science here, babe. Like, again, at the end of the day, I worked in a union environment for freaking years, and I look around and be like, yo, how come that dude ain't got to do shit? But me, I got to bust my ass. Well, maybe he got something on him, right? Maybe he's got some pictures of somebody or something. I don't know, but it's obvious. That's the way we're triggered to think. So why is nobody talking about this? I don't understand. Well, I'm sweat, man. I'm done. I can't do it no more.
Yeah, last thing.
I'm just kidding.
Last thing. I just think I played sports. Who has the goddamn ball in their hands?
What's that?
We both have played sports.
Yep.
We both understand. Everybody in the chat understands it. Who the hell's got the ball in their hands? Is it Nick? Is it Jeffrey Lurie? Is it Howie Roseman? Or is it Jalen Hurts?
The physical ball, it's Jalen Hurts.
Okay, so go with me here. All right.
Okay.
So when you're talking about like the 25 attempts and him running the football, that falls on him. Okay, what I mean by that is him using his legs falls on him. Now the RPO format falls on organizationally because they should be running that period when they struggle. It's an easy open things up situation where you can make guys freeze all over the place. I want guys to freeze when I'm struggling because you can open up one big play, and you know how sports work. One big play, one big touchdown can maybe change the direction of how you're feeling as a group. In terms of the next stuff, I don't think he's just a CEO. I think they did shut him down social media wise. It probably took too long. To your point, they didn't get it soon enough. And then what trickled in is, they're friends. So Jalen and AJ are boys. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, definitely.
So now, and that whole agenda was wrong too when the dial made that into a thing as well. Again, but he's the godfather of his daughter, but that doesn't matter. Of course, when program directors are building shows out, that doesn't factor in. But I regress. So like man, right now, is it hard for me to sit here and go to bat for Nick Sirianni when I've crushed him plenty of times in this city? I've crushed him plenty. I don't know if there's a guy who's been harder on him, but it's hard for me to be hard on a guy right this minute when what you've accomplished. Like, it matters. The season isn't over. It didn't end. If it ends like that, it's a different conversation me and you are having. That's all my point is. We're going to have a different conversation then on how my feelings are towards it. But the grace and a little bit of leeway in sports is important for coaches too. It's important. Think about this around. Like, if you after this year said, nope, that's it, right? Who would ever want to come here and coach?
It's a good point.
So those things matter in our reactions and how maybe they think organizationally. And I've grown up on this. Trust me. I mean, you catch me 2 years ago, I might, you know what I mean? I'm not egging houses, right? But I talk about firing Nick in 2023 all the time.
Wow, look what just happened. Shamar Moore in Michigan, 9-3, gets fired.
Everybody else's fault. It's everybody else's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to protect who you surround yourself with. You could make me work side by side by a woman tomorrow. I ain't sleeping with her. I'm married. I got a wife. I got 2 kids.
Come on, man.
Are you a man? Are you a man?
12 million.
I don't care if it's 100,000.
No, I'm saying you gave up everything. You threw it all away. Like, wow. I don't know, dude. Maybe because we're older.
It's not even throwing the money away to me.
No, I'm saying everything. The career, money, your reputation, you could have been everything.
You could have been an Amazon driver for all that matters to me. And the person driving around with you in the wintertime, you're fondling in the back, right? Okay, and you're making $75K a year. And
she's delivering the package.
Yeah, she got the package, and it could be, and it's the same thing. You ain't a man. You just threw it away, right? You get fired from that job. You threw your career away. Like, it goes at all levels, right? From a person at McDonald's on up, right? Like,
it's just crazy, man.
Now, when you don't have as much to lose, it's a little bit easier to make those mistakes if you're a scumbag. But to your point, when you got even more to lose, where's your conscience? And first off, where's your integrity? Where's your morals?
I'll say something that's probably not popular, and I will just say I'm not going to judge the dude on that because I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I'm not saying what he did was right. All I'm saying is when it comes to the intimacy and it comes to, the infidelity, it's like, I know people go through shit. Well, I'm not saying the way they go about it is right. It's not for me to judge. It's not at all. But I think the difference I have with it, and I won't get long-winded about it, is like you just said, Amazon drive. To me, it is different because you are in the public spotlight. Meaning, if you're an Amazon driver and you do that, then maybe you disrespect your family and it's in this little circle, right? But when you're on that stage, man, it's that much greater to where, like, your significant other or wife, they're taking out social media. Like, your stuff is just like you're getting bombed all over.
No,
like,
for sure. I just meant in terms of like throwing.
You're just talking about the infidelity act.
No, I'm just talking about throwing your life away.
Yeah,
doing that to your kids, doing that to your wife, doing that to your mother, doing that to the mother of your children. Now, again, I don't know what goes on in their house,
right? And that's the thing. That's why I don't judge. I mean, people go through problems, and people have
again. Listen, man.
I don't know, man. Maybe he was at a Diddy party. I don't know, and it was, and maybe he was in a Diddy doc.
Again, but the point is, like, I don't know. I don't know what goes on in your household, but it seems pretty obvious that you gave her the role for one reason. So to
Well,
me,
yes.
this didn't just start. This has been going on for a while, and again, I don't know. I don't know what goes on in their house. That's not for me to judge.
At the end of the day, what did they? What was when I was working full time in a big production plant, and it was probably 95% male and maybe 5% female. And those 5% female people were running around with their tongues hanging at their mouth, like the hot dog guys that we talked about, right? So I so I always look at that and I'm like, one of the veterans will go, "Yo, man, don't shit where you eat." Like at the end of the day, that was like the common phrase, and it's like, yeah, dude, like honestly, why? Like I look at that because it's just a major issue, whether it's good or bad. Let me ask you this: Would you want to work all day with your wife? I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't. I mean, listen, I'm just being honest. Like, but I think you need separation. I think you need that get away, out of the house a little bit, or if you guys were together working side by side every day, 70 hours a week, plus playing husband and wife, man, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's no days off. It's no break. You know what I mean? I mean, listen, we need a break. That's why we do this once a week. So yeah, I just at the end of the day, it's like you need a break. So listen, not trying to condone anything. I'm just saying that sometimes in anything now in the social media world, we just jump. And I'm not sticking. I'm just saying that you just don't know what went on behind closed doors. All I'm saying, you just don't know. Who knows? Still not condoning it. Just saying, you just never know. But just crazy story. But bro,
Yeah,
we got in this. We weren't supposed to get in the Eagles talk, and we had to blow it up, man. The comments were just off the rails. That's how you could tell. Remember in like 2008, everybody was like, "Oh, the Phillies are overtaking the Eagles." The Phillies will never overtake the Eagles in this town ever. Like it's never going to happen. This is an Eagles town. You had Kyle Schwarber, who everybody was so happy about signing. You barely even talked about it because everybody saw about benching the quarterback, Super Bowl MVP. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, what's the real conversation here? It's crazy. So for anybody that ever thought that was going to happen, that script's never been flipped.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Never, absolutely never, absolutely never, 100%.
All right, brother. Well, listen, great
Good
shit.
stuff, man.
Great shit. We'll see everybody next Thursday, hopefully after the Birds win. And
After Las Vegas.
Yeah, we'll have a little bit more positivity coming out.
Oh boy, if they lose,
Vegas,
Vegas.
Give me aggressive if they lose.
Yeah, you think?
They won't. They won't. But another edition, Philly Sports Unfiltered. That's Tony Cutillo. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, we love you. We appreciate you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hit the like, subscribe on your way out. And guess what? We'll see you next Thursday. Maybe the Phillies will do something. We'll see what happens.
Cutillo.
Yeah, it'll be nice. We have some good things to talk about. We're out. See you next Thursday. Love you all. Go Birds.